Hello everyone, thank you for coming back to my channel. You guys, today is going to be another audio video because something is still going on with my camera and I cannot fix the settings on it. So just listen as me and my guests talk about why is it that parents are so quick to tell their children to leave once they turn 18. It's not as if most parents have prepared their child for the real world, have made sure that they have a savings account, make sure that they have life insurance. It's not like they have all these things, already prepared. So I'm just curious as to why most parents, and I'm preferably talking about the Black community because that's where I come from, they are always so quick to tell their children to go. So do you have an idea of why parents do that? And also maybe how it can be prevented.
That's what they were taught. And also is laziness. Those are the two reasons I can think of right now.
Laziness for wanting your kid to leave the house?
Everything associated. Everything unhealthy is associated with laziness. That
being lazy? Explain, is it lazy because...
Take us in there to gymnastics, ballet, to the park, spend time with her. ABCs, numbers, teaching how to speak Creole. Those stuff takes energy.
No, I'm not talking about raising.
Let me finish. Those things take energy. If I was a lazy person, she would not be in gymnastics because I would not. Half of the time I'm taking a nap. I don't want.
But I'm a bit confused. The question was, why is it that parents they want their child to leave once they turn 18? Now you're saying this is because they were lazy.
That's what they were taught. Number one, and number two is that it's laziness.
How is it lazy to want your child to leave? That's what I'm trying to say.
First of all, you should prepare your child for the world. That's first of all.
Yes. But I'm saying, so is that your argument that parents are so quick to tell their child to leave because what? They're lazy because they don't want to take care. That's what I'm saying.
It's accountability. It's a form of accountability.
Okay, more responsibility. They feel like I'm done.
Yeah, it's accountability.
Oh, then say that because you confusing me. I'm like,
it's accountability.
Okay.
To take your responsibility, you can't be lazy. Yeah. So if
even though they're 18, even though that the child is 18 now. It's still accountability, and you still.
I'm 42 years of age. I still need wisdom and guidance from people who have more wisdom and guidance in life than I do. I'm 42 years of age.
That is true. So that surround yourself around them.
Exactly. No. So an 18-year-old person.
Okay. So from James' perspective and mine, it's kind of similar. I do feel that it's a form of, I wouldn't say lazy, but I guess it's still lazy. But you know what? At the point, because most parents feel like, you know what? I'm done. I did my 18. They made it to 18, and I don't have a problem with that though. Only if you have really prepared your child for life when they turned 18. That's my thing.
Nobody's prepared for life at 18 years of age. I just mentioned to you, I'm 42 years of age.
No, as much as you can, yeah.
I've taken extremely time to take where I am right now to be responsible, and I still need guidance and wisdom from people who are more responsible than I am, either my age or more a generation above me.
When you had just said something and it raised a question in me. I forgot what you said.
Laziness, what they was taught.
No, not that. How when you turn 18 you're still not prepared. So that makes me think, how long should a child be in their parents' home or under their wing until they're prepared? Is it 18? Is it 21? Is it what? Because even if you did do everything that you need to do there, you still can't really fully know how your world is going to be when you turn 18. So would you think like they need to be like 21, maybe 25? That way it gives them time? Or what is the age that you feel like, okay, the parents had did what they had to do, and now this child is ready for the world as best as possible? What age would that be?
Well, since we live in this country, we got to go by the law in this country. The law in this country says when someone is 18 years of age, They could go into a legal contracts. They're able to get jobs, create opportunity for themselves. So if you want to go by those standards, you know, if a child want to be independent and they will groom and develop financially, and they want to be independent and leave the house at 18 years of age, that's on them. Or if the parent feel like, well, you need more life lesson, I think you should move out to get more life lesson regarding how to manage a mortgage, rent, and so on and so forth.
So that can't that just be done in the home anyways? Like the parent can actually charge the child a monthly rent every month, and then they pay like that.
It can, but it's slightly different. It's a little bit different when someone is living on their own compared to still living in the house. It's slightly different. So
are you for the parents saying, hey, buy when they're 18, or it just depends on the situation?
What do you mean by buy?
No, like because you're saying, in a way it seems like now you're saying it's okay to tell your child to leave at 18.
No, I didn't say that.
No, that's what I'm getting from what you're saying.
No. If Zendaya feels like at 17, 18, she feels that she want to be more independent, and we have talked about business, economics, so on and so forth, and she wants to do that, she can. It's her life. Also, too, if you come to a point that we have a misunderstanding, I will ask her, well, since we already taught you about economics, business, so on and so forth, how to be economically responsible, I think it's time for you to find your own house and so on and so forth, because we have a misunderstanding. Okay. I didn't say after she turned 18, no matter what happened.
So would you tell Zendaya to leave if she was 18? And
if we were not getting along, yeah, I would ask her to, yes.
Even though she's not prepared.
No, she's preparing. We prepare her now.
I know. I'm just saying.
No.
So you feel that at 18 you're going to prepare her, or we're going to prepare her?
Yeah, she will. Economically, yes, she'd be responsible enough. Okay. If she wants to leave, or if we have a misunderstanding, she will be able to do fine if she continue to practice what we taught her economically to be responsible.
So, at what age should other parents say, "Hey, child, it's been long enough. Go." See how the real world is.
Well, you can't. Like I said, you can't say that. You can't say that to someone you have not. See, I can say that to Zendaya if you're not getting along, because we have taught her economically.
Vice versa, though. Whether you taught them or not, what is a good age? Because even sometimes I feel that even if someone, because there are some great parents like Will and Jada. I admire how they taught their children. How Will, what is the son? Jaden is doing a lot of things with their environment, and so. I get what you're saying. At a certain age, they are prepared. But for those that are not, like, what age would you say? Because it ain't until you're really 30. I was just talking about this with Jonathan today. It's not really until you're 30 years old that you actually
life start clicking.
Yeah. So would you say that it's safe to say that it's okay to be at home till 30?
So
ironic, that's a long time.
Ironic you said that about Will Smith and their family. Even though they're doing incredible things on their own, they still need their parents economically to guide them when they go into contracts, because they don't know that in-depth business that Will Smith and Jada have. You feel what I'm saying? They still got to get in the background.
You're still gonna need
of course, you're still going to be in the background.
Okay. So I hope y'all catching on. I'm just letting it flow like I sometimes do. So my other thing is, when parents, if you're a parent and you're listening to this, have you asked yourself, like, what did you do to prepare your child? Like, if you guys don't know, or if you guys just don't listen to my videos, I have a 13-year-old because I had him when I was young. And I can honestly say, sadly, that he's not prepared for when he turned 18, because I felt a lot of things. I didn't always think the way I think. I didn't have that upbringing to, like what James was saying, where I was taught how to do certain things. It's just, I'm grateful for one, that I'm somewhat responsible. I'm not as responsible as I should, but I'm somewhat responsible. But I wasn't really always taught that. So I think that was just in me. But it's sad to say that my son is not going to be prepared for when he turned 18. And it's a whole lot of things I could have done, but being a single parent at that age, it wasn't just on me. It was his father also. And right now, I have him at his around his father's side of the family, and it's not like there's much help, with that. So it's very interesting, and I hope that parents, if you have younger children, please make sure that you are preparing them, because it's really up to us. Because when they turn 18, if they want to go, we need to know that in our hearts and our mind that, you know what, I'm okay because I have taught my child to do this. But if you didn't do that, you can't really get mad at your child if they're not ready to go. It's like you teaching them. Say if you're teaching them how to fly, but they ain't never got that experience. So as soon as you throw them out there, they're going to fall straight to the ground. So it's a lot of things we have to think about. And I know that we be tired at that time, but we should have thought about it before we decide to have the child. That, you know what, it's going to go past 18. Yep. It may go until the day we die, depending on if the child has a disability, depending on the child's needs, anything.
You never know.
So now, because now that I think about it, I mean, staying with your parents at 30 is a bit much, but if you are not prepared, I would say 30 is a bit much, but at least by like 25, if you don't got it together by 25, then that's just on you and your parents just not doing what they need to do. But I can see Zendaya still staying with me at 25.
For example.
But not really, because, I take that back. If I'm being irresponsible. But if I get myself together, I can see her going at 18. But if she wants to stay to 25, or even Josiah, I can see that, because I want them to feel comfortable. And while they're doing that, they need to be saving their money. They need to be making sure that next move is their best move, that their business is going to... That's the only way I will allow my children to still stay in my home, because if I'm continuing the route that I'm going, I know that Josiah and Zendaya will be better prepared at 18 than Rodney was, just because I'm at a different space. And each child, So I can honestly say that, I wouldn't mind my children. As long as I know that they're trying and that I'm being a help and they're going to save that money, it's okay with me. So parents, before we decide to really push our child out, we need to think about that. You
can't hold nobody accountable for something you have not taught them.
Yeah. I forgot the saying, but it's the kind of saying, if you don't know, you can't really... I forgot the saying, but it's basically saying you can't be at fault if you didn't know. Now, if you knew, that's a different story. So the kids can't be at fault if they don't know about stocks, bonds. They don't know how to fill out a check. They don't know how to, just different things. They can't be at fault.
Like, for example, before I asked Josiah to actually clean the bathroom by himself, he actually saw me clean the bathroom by myself maybe like more than hundreds of times, because I've been in his life for almost a lot of years now. So now that he sees me, I'm showing him how to clean everything.
Yeah.
When I ask him to do it,
sometimes he still don't even get it right. But guys, it's just something else.
But no, it's just life. It's just life. Right now, his mind. That's not where his mind is. Yeah. And we have to understand
that. And that's because too, I feel
that's not where his mind is right now. His mind is not make sure we clean the bathroom real good. I'm thinking about playing at that age.
That has to do with me and his a little bit of his father, but it has to do with me, because I didn't do what I was supposed to have done since he was in my care most of the time, until his father passed. And I take full responsibility for that. That's why I'm kind of so hard on myself. I can't sit here, don't celebrate me on Mother's Day. Don't say I'm a good mother. I'm not. I am not nowhere near. I'm not. I'm just about like failing.
On Father's Day, don't forget about
seriously,
me.
that's why I don't, because I have so much hopes and for my children. It's just like, how dare I be celebrated for something I'm half doing? Even to this day, sadly, I can say without feeling no type of way and be wrong with you guys, I am doing a half job with being parenting.
But you know what? Admitting that you're not doing the parent that you want to be, that's the road of being a responsible parent.
And if y'all wondering what I'm talking about, what I mean is my son, he's struggling some education with his education. I can't be seen as a good parent for that. He doesn't really know about business as he should. Things like that. He doesn't know how to survive in a world without electronics. That's what I mean. Like, I want my child to be A1 if I want to be considered a good parent. Happy Mother's Day, this and that. So that's what I mean by... And then, too, I still, like I tell you guys, I'm not patient enough. So it's different things that I have to work on to become a better parent. And so it's just a lot. I don't know how I got on that. But my point is, like, I realize that it takes a lot. And if Josiah and Zendaya decided to say, hey, Mom, you didn't prepare me enough. Can I stay a little longer? Yes, you can. But while you're staying here, we're going to get it together. We're going to work on what I failed to do when you were younger. And by the time you turn about 25, you should be a successful person. I won't just kick them out. Like I said, unless... Because they, you know, your child is a part of you, and that mouth be smart. So unless we did get into it, you know, then it's be like, okay, well, you got to figure out what you're going to do. That respect needs to remain there. But it's just interesting to me how a lot of people in the black community, a lot of parents, just so easy to quit to do that. Now, I don't think my dad basically kicked me out when I was 17 because I got pregnant. We got into a fight. He probably thought I was being grown, whatever. But I don't know if he would have kicked me out when I was 18 because I did end up returning when I was like 21, and I stayed with him for 2 years. And so I wasn't really brought up around that where I feel like my dad would constantly like kick me out. Even to this day, I think if I needed to go back home, he'll be there. I just got to hear his mouth. So it just depends on your environment and your parents. So, you know, for those parents that's just really just negative and I feel bad for some of the kids because they getting passed off to school. So of course, when you turn 18, a lot of your parents is gonna be, I'm out. So it's just very interesting. It's very interesting. Sometimes by pushing your child out at 18 when they're not prepared, you set your child up for even more failure. And it's because they're not prepared at all for anything, or they just don't understand. You can have some kind-hearted children and they're not rough enough for this world. You set them up.
Also, too, the world is very predatory, meaning that if someone don't have a strong mental and know what's going on, as soon as you walk out into the world, somebody going to take advantage of you immediately.
Like me, a lot of times people take advantage
immediately. It doesn't matter if you have a good heart, if you're a nice person. The minute someone figure out that you don't know what's going on in life, somebody or group of people are going to take advantage of you. Period. And
it's not okay. But when you set your child out like there, you really set them up. That's how they get addicted to drugs. That's how they get caught up in prostitution. That's how they get, or the white collar crime, just different things because they're trying to do other things to make a living where we fail to help them. By the time my son and my daughter turns, Josiah, because you guys already heard me say I failed Rodney. But by the time Rodney, Josiah and Zendaya turn 18, they need to have their own business. They need to have their credit already up.
See why not?
Yeah, they need to already be there. And so that way it can prevent less dilemmas in their life, or prevent them from doing things they know that's not supposed to.
Remember recently I sent you that text about Zendaya gymnastics and ballet. I seen she's 4 now, so I said the next 14 years it will cost us over $600,000 for her to become a professional gymnast or ballet, so on and so forth.
Did you do the math right?
Yes, I did.
That's a lot of money. We could say that.
But listen, this is part of investing into your child. This is very important. I just said for our daughter, ballet and gymnastics for the next 14 years.
And she's gonna be going in swimming and soccer. So that ain't just
exactly. So really? we're looking at somewhere over $1 million and plus. But guess what? As a professional gymnast in the Olympic, one endorsement, you could get $10 million plus. So
my baby's got to be forced to be reckoned because she's a natural.
This is how we start. This is how we gotta start investing into our children, invest into their extracurricular activities. So when it's time for them to become adult, so that extracurricular activity become a professional, so they could, like I said, endorsements.
But you know what? Even if she doesn't go pro or anything, sorry to cut you off.
Exactly.
That's keeping her out of trouble. Many times I said I had too much time on myself. That's why I was 16 and pregnant.
Too much time.
So if she know, like, you know what, I'm good at this, I could possibly go to the Olympics, whether it's track, because she's a natural at that, whether it's gymnastics, whether it's playing soccer, whether she's staying busy. She don't have time to be worried about different things. So even if that costs me that much just for her to have a better life and not be a teen parent, so be it. So be it, because it's teaching her a lot of things, teamwork.
And here's the other opportunity also, that being a professional gymnast, we talking about that's being the top. She could, if she doesn't want to do that, she could open up she could be a trainer. She could open up a store. She could be a business or something. It's always something. She will always be successful somewhere in those extracurricular activities. Even if it's not up here, anywhere in between is success, because either you're going to be a big business owner or you're going to be sponsor for millions of dollars for your skill that you invest for all these years. So it's very important to invest in into the children extracurricular activities, and parents is failing at that big time.
Yeah. So we kind of got off topic, but still, it was still good talk. And while I was thinking about this, I wondered if this is why parents tell their child to go at 18. You know how sometimes some people are married. I mean, okay, they're married or they're together, and things are so fine before they have a child, but then they have the child, it brings all types of even more problems, or just starting to work. Maybe they'd be like, I want my life back, with my spouse, and it'll be less stress. Could that be a potential reason why they like, hey?
Yeah, a lot of parents are selfish. You're 100% correct. And as parents, what
I'm saying is that when they had that child, it just was different. Now they didn't get to do whatever.
That's what I'm saying. Selfishness. It's selfishness. You thinking about yourself, the fun that you had before that child came.
Oh, okay, I'm following you. Yeah.
Instead of focusing on, now we have this child. Let's invest into this child. After this child is developed, then we could go back into enjoying each other more now because you got a product out there that's doing good.
It just made me think of that because I wonder, like, hey, they be like, hey, child 18, now let us enjoy us. But that's why I really try to stress to you guys that, hey, having a child is the most biggest decision you can ever make. That is the most.
It's bigger than buying a house. Trust me.
Seriously, and it is just, man, that's why we really got to think about it. We really got to think about it. If you got one, stop at that one and just do your best. Put all your best in that one child and do what it is.
I'll buy 30 before I have another child.
Are you practicing things to not have children? I'm asking this because you guys that don't know, me and James are not together. So I'm just asking, like, do you practice? What are you doing? What have you done to make sure you don't have children? Because you still ain't got no vasectomy.
I'm keeping myself.
You still ain't got no vasectomy though, James.
Keeping myself to myself. That's the best vasectomy ever.
But I'm just saying, like, you just never know. Maybe at night you out doing something and.
Nope.
Well, I'm just saying, like, what steps have you taken?
You ain't saying nothing.
Anyways, I'm just saying that he's trying to just knock my response.
Yeah.
But I'm getting off focus. But the topic of this, the reason for this topic is just to really shine light on parents. Ask yourself, why are you really telling your child to go at 18? Leave it in my comments. What is it? Is it because you're stressed out, or you feel like you done because the white man say 18 is grown? What if the white man would have said 18 is at 30 they grown? So what is it? And for those people that frown on children that being in their parents' home, now if you ain't doing nothing and you just really being a mama's boy and all that, and you ain't doing nothing with your life.
I'm not talking about that.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you actually, you know what, mom, dad, I'm going to stay here at least till I'm like 23, 25, because you know what, I have these ideas. I want to stay focused. I want to be somewhere where I'm safe. Things like that. That is so understandable.
And guess what? If Zendaya gets to be a certain age, now as a business, I can employ her and give her a salary, and then claim and as a tax write-off for the business at the end of the year. See, this is all the things in the black community that we don't think about. We have an employee mentality. We have to get out of employee mentality and think of employer mentality. Your children can be your employee. Your family is your first business. Why are you out looking for jobs and taking your time away from your family?
And I'm guilty of that too.
That's another.
I'm very guilty of that. I'm very, very guilty of that. It's just a lot to consider, parents. Like, everything I say, I ain't trying to come for y'all or me or us, whatever how you want to put it. It's just to bring this awareness. Like, let's sit back and honestly, let's be honest. That's why I love what I talk about. Like, because I'm giving y'all the raw, being honest. And I feel that that's the best for you because I know I can relate to you guys. You guys can relate to me on certain things. And it's just about, okay, now that we know we have failed our children, what can we do better to prevent that? That's really what it's about.
And also, too, a lot of time, me and Destiny have difficulty is because that...
Just about every day. Because he be...
For me, is that it really makes me upset. I feel like I should have had my life and my business established already before my daughter was born. Now I have to spend time away from her to still trying to establish my business. And as children, you don't want to take time away from children when they're developing because children only understand one thing is love. That's it. If you don't spend time with them, you don't love them. You don't feed them, you don't love them. You don't take them to the park, you don't love them. You don't kiss them, you don't love them.
Because I ask my daughter all the time, why do she love me? One of the first things she says is the food, because you know I love to eat, y'all. So we always eating or doing stuff. And her responses is like, okay, that's what she thinks love is. And they would say that she loves her dad because he's fun. They go to the park. It won't be that, you know what, he's actually, you know, until they get a little older, they will understand. But those little things, it does matter. It really does. So but you know what? I don't fault the parent. If there's two parents in a household and one parent is still there, that's better than nothing, because sometimes in life you have to sacrifice. Like a lot of, even if it's sacrificing time with children, long as it's worth it, make sure it is beneficial to not only you but people in your community. Then that's something, you know, like, hey, like me, I don't feel good all the time that I spend time with my children. But when COVID was happening, I was 9 years I've been in school, neglecting my children. And so it's time that I need to take everything back and just fix myself. Go ahead.
Also, too, as parent, spending time with your children doesn't mean watching your favorite program on Netflix and Hulu. It
kind of can. Yes, it is. No, it's just a form of it. Yes, it is, because you can be
not all the time. That could be periodically.
Yeah.
Watching your favorite program on Hulu and Netflix is not spending time with your children.
In a way, it really is. You could be talking, hugging to them. Hey, you see how this happened? What would you do? You really can. I can back that up.
Yeah.
You really can.
The majority of the parents out there, they know what I'm talking about.
Because a lot of times when I am watching something with my children, I say, Josiah, look at this. This is what I'm giving examples. And so, yeah, I do. I'm the one that loves to watch TV and movies. But when my children are watching something, they're getting a glimpse of the reality or the real world that I can't really show them at the time. Like right now, I grew up watching Run's House and all that, and he has these shows where he goes travel the world. And so I let them watch that so they can see another black family, positive family, going to Tokyo, Japan, and going to Jamaica and going to New Mexico, seeing these different things, but I give them examples. And I may say, hey, Josiah, you see how Miss Justine is dressed? I'm always going to throw it in there. She's covered up. You see how she's talking on Rev Run? See how? So I'm giving life lessons literally when I'm watching things. So, I don't know. Just want to throw that in there. You can, just to prove to you, James, that you can be spending time with your children. But I get what you're saying. A lot of people don't actually sit with their children in the bed. That's what I do and watch with them. They either in other rooms. So is that what you were kind of saying?
Even if you're in the same bed with them. Most children don't care about Run's House.
Well, we do.
Most children don't care about this. Most children wants to play, and as parents, it's our job to incorporate the learning into the playing. That's why we can't be lazy.
Yeah, I am not really a part. Yeah, let me stay on focus. But the point is, parents, let's just really do our pros and cons. Like, is it really gonna hurt you to have your child stay in the house another 5 years or so? Another 6-7 years, especially until they're ready. You would like to be thrown out into the world if you're not prepared.
And also, so I forgot to mention this point. Get out of that early cute stage with your kids and start discipline them at an early age. Parenting doesn't start at 5, 6, 7 years of age.
It starts in the womb.
When the habits are already formed. That's not when parenting starts.
It actually starts in the womb. Because when you're reading to your child in the room, it starts. When you're talking, listen to the music, it starts. When they hear all the dysfunction, they already know this is what they get ready to come to. So it really actually starts in the womb. And you guys, the babies can hear everything.
A lot of us have these habits that be passing down to us. For the first 4 years of most children's lives,
it's just free.
It's like cute. Dressing them up. Just no structure and no discipline. That's not parenting.
I hope I'm wrong, but I think they think it's good if a child can count to 20 by the time they 5 or something. I think if the last time I had looked, it could have been a couple years ago, but that's not good. We need to start.
I started actual school at 3 years of age in Haiti. 3. Not not pre-kindergarten, no. Schooling.
And
Book bags, notebooks, everything.
That's why other blacks in other parts of the country are just so more advanced than us, because here in America we just lazy. We really are. Even I am lazy. So I don't want y'all to think like Destiny thinks she I be talking to myself and a lot of the time.
And I can be lazy sometimes too. And that's why I'm so critical of myself and my surrounding. I can be lazy, I can be a procrastinator too. And that's why every day we have to make sure that we tough on ourselves. We hold ourselves accountable. Am I doing what am I supposed to do? Not only for me, for my family, if you have a family.
It's just a lot to think about. I don't think that it's okay for parents knowingly putting their kid out and they're not prepared. How we turn 18, we ain't even got $100 in our bank account. We don't even have a bank account. We don't have a credit score.
No land.
Yeah, we don't have. How can y'all expect us to survive? That's when we go hitting them licks. That's when we become pimps and hoes and doing them scams, whatever y'all be doing, because we got to make a living and no one taught us.
Yeah, rent gotta be paid. Food
Seriously,
gotta be bought.
how do y'all expect black people? How do y'all really expect our children to get better if we can't? Like, I ain't trying to throw my family under the
Hey.
But I don't recall my family talking about credit. I don't even know if they have credit right now. I think one of my aunts do. But just growing up, I don't remember certain things. And it's just like, that's something that should be talked about. I don't remember saying, hey, well, you know what? It ain't much. Instead of getting that car at 16 that a lot of parents do, let me give you this $5,000 and you go in and start something. And I was having a debate. I don't know if it was you, James, or who I was talking to somebody. It could have been my cousin Michael. But they were saying, it was my cousin Michael. Not everybody meant to be a business owner. And I should record my call. And I told him that's not true. Because everybody's taught to spend money. Everybody's taught to eat back. You're taught things. So you can be a business owner if you're taught.
And you see, you're 100% correct with that too. Because the thing that we don't understand about, we are individual businesses. Because at some point we have to pay rent. That's what a business does. A business pay rent. You have to pay utility. Business pay utility. You have to pay internet. Business pay internet. People that own a business have to travel. You travel. So we have to start thinking of us as an individual business, so we can start changing our minds about economics and stop spending. We were just $4 billion on Jordans last year. $6 billion on alcohol. Another $4 billion on something else.
And that's what our children are seeing. They're growing up thinking, I just feel so bad.
$4 billion on Jordans last year. $4 billion. Not 4,000, not 4 million, 4 billion.
I just feel bad. Like, we feel that we good parents if we're giving our child something. Or and it's funny because, I don't know if you remember, but I was working a lot. And so you would normally have the kids, but every time I seen them, we would go to Walmart and I ended up getting them something like the pajamas. You was like, Destiny, I don't know if you think that you being a good parent if you get them something, but you ain't got to. But I was like, no, that ain't even it. It's just that really, I do like to
make up for something.
No, I wasn't. No,
a lot of us trying to make up for something.
I wasn't making up for nothing. The dress that I saw was a good deal. It was about $3 for a nightgown. Why not get it? Because she needed a nightgown. That's how I was thinking it too. And I do have a little spending problem. But it had nothing to do with me thinking like, oh, my kids think. The first thing I say, if I call them right now, they think, oh, Mom, thanks for getting. I said, that don't make me no good parent. I automatically tell them that. Just because I got it doesn't mean you're a good parent. Mm-hmm. I'll go get your side right now. He'll tell you. It doesn't mean. So, but when James had said that, I was like, he got his nerve thinking I'm trying to bribe my kids to think that I'm a good parent. A lot of us do. I tell them all the time, Mommy is not it. My daughter tell me, Mommy, you're the best mommy. And I say, I saw out, I'm really not. It's the truth. It's just like, just realize.
And if you ask her why, she should say, because you taught me something that's gonna better me in life if something happens to
her
you.
why is something else.
Of
like course. Take me to eat United.
Exactly.
I give her till she about 6 or 7 to get it together. But it's just really interesting how, like, us parents, as the black community, we think we gotta do better. We can do better. It's just that spending time. We was at the park 2 days ago or so. Oh, Sunday? We was at the park on Sunday, and we had met this, I had met this beautiful family, Latino and black family, and they were just there spending time with their family. spending time with the children. And then we end up exchanging information for business purposes, and it was just amazing. It's just that time we have to spend, and that also helps you develop as a parent, as an adult when you're 18 for our children, because it teaches you that person skills. You know how to be about your business. You know how to throw it in there to get that opportunity to say, hey, use me, I'm good at this, or hey, I may know connections for this and that. So it's a lot of things. Everything in life is a learning experience, but if you don't know it and you're not prepared, why? You wouldn't go and do surgery if you're not prepared. Nope. You can't say, I'm gonna be a surgeon and start doing surgery. No, you have to. It's gonna take years and years of school and different things like that. And so it just look at it like that.
That's how life is, period. Really,
when you do hair, when you want to be a cosmetology, when you go to cosmetology school. Just because you're good at it, you still got to learn how to be professional. You still got to learn how to clean the tools. It's steps to everything, and throwing our children out when they turn 18 isn't really good if they're not prepared. And most of the time in the black community, about 98% of us are not prepared. Yeah, no. We're really not. We're prepared to go sleep with men, smoke, drink, cuss, go to Vegas, dance, twerk.
Get Airbnbs.
Yeah, that's what we're prepared.
EDD and PPP, yeah.
And it's just like, come on. I feel so bad for my kids, and I'm mad because my somewhat not okay kids, but better than your kids, kind of. Which is, I shouldn't say that, but what I'm trying to say is my kids are not even prepared, but some of my kids are better than some of y'all kids, and they got to run across y'all kids, and they go. I'm just like, I hope my kids understand what I'm trying to tell them, because they won't get influenced by your no good kids, because you ain't teaching them nothing. Mm-hmm. I mean, I hope they don't, because I hope they be their own mind. But sometimes as a parent,
why we homeschool.
But not even that, and I'm doing horrible at that. But it's okay. But not even that. Sometimes you can do everything you can as a parent, and your child still just go the other way. They still get easily influenced. So it's just you just really never know.
At least you know in your heart that way. I did what I was supposed to do. Yeah. But a lot of us can't look in the mirror and say that. That's the problem.
Yeah. It's you guys, it's really a lot.
That's the problem.
And I just want us to do better. Stop kicking our kids out. And then even if they did have a little job, they can help around the house. Help you save on some money. You know, just different things. Let's stick together. It's just really interesting when you think about how we were raised and how... It's just funny though, because our parents, they be wanting all the rewards now. Like they really did something. When y'all really screwed us up. Like y'all really screwed us up. There's people I know around me that say, hey, my mom didn't do nothing. I am the way I am right now because I put that effort in. And it's just like, that's sad when you can't say that your parents or your uncle or your great grandpa helped you do this and that. We have lost ourselves.
I know that's my situation. The skill that I used, that I needed to survive not to survive, to be a successful and healthy, happy person in life, then it really came from my grandmother, not even from my own parents. So
yeah, it's just very interesting. I'm about to wrap this video up. I hope you guys really sit and listen to this. Hope you guys understand where I'm coming from. And I may have said a few things and maybe a few comments that y'all like, no. But when you think about it, you may be like, hey, that's really telling the truth. So I don't say anything to offend anyone. If you offended, I'm sorry. This shine ain't really for you if you easily offended, because we're talking the truth. We're going to get down to the root. Why is this doing this? Destiny, why are you failing? Blah, blah, blah. And so we're gonna stay encouraged. Parents, we're going to get ourselves together and think twice before you try to throw your children out to the world when you have not prepared them. So, there's no song of the day today. I just didn't want to do it today. Hopefully you guys see me tomorrow. I just been thinking a lot and not really my best me, and unmotivated to do videos and stressing about school, different things, which is no excuse. But I do thank you guys for watching today. And, matter of fact, you will see me tomorrow. I'm going to do a video right now, right after this. And that way you'll have something to watch tomorrow. But thank you guys so much for the support. Continue to and subscribe. And comment and share my videos. And we're in this thing together. Parents, let's get it together. And know that you can do it. You just got to want the help. So, any last words?
Stop being lazy. It takes a
Yeah,
lot
I'm
of work.
done.
Stop being
You're
lazy.
even worse than me.
Stop being lazy.
But thank you so much, and goodbye for now.